Welcome back to Teshkid FX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Polygon Matic, whose current price stands at the $0.9118 mark, and here on TradingView the market is up by 0.01%. And in this video I want to give you the short term and the long term scenarios that I expect to play out here on the Polygon Matic chart, starting my analysis here on the daily chart by giving you a brief of what has been happening here on the Polygon Matic chart. So Polygon Matic, from these low prices that we had been trading within, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, obeying the Elliot wave structures, making it to an all-time high at around the $2.9 mark. And in that movement I'm terming it as a higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. Then after seeing the all-time high, we had been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective structure over here in a movement that I'm terming as a higher Elliot wave count 2, and there are chances that we might have seen the low for this higher Elliot wave count 2, and this bounce that we are seeing over here might be the bounce in the formation of that wave 3, which is an impulsive wave, and because of that we expect to see fractal waves in formation within that wave 3 to the upper side, and sketching out a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of this wave 3 using a trend based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of the first wave to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave. That gives me a minimum target area to the upper side at the fib level 1.618, and that is at around the $5.04 mark, and that is the minimum that I would expect that wave 3 to the upper side to do before we see a wave 4 and then continue pushing even higher in the formation of that wave 5 to the upper side. And I will expect this movement to the upper side in the formation of the wave 3 to come to a complete in the next bull market, and that is my long-term scenario that I'm expecting to play out here on the Polygon Matic chart. And jumping to the 4-hour chart for further analysis. Here on the 1-hour chart you can see I have this Elliot wave structure in blue, which is a fractal wave within the formation of that high Elliot wave count 3 that I have shown you on the daily chart. And I believe we have completed the formation of this wave 1 to the upper side, and within a wave 1, which is an impulsive wave also, we also expected to see fractal waves in formation, which I have represented here on this chart in this Elliot wave structure in yellow, having a wave 5 completing the formation of that high Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side, and getting to see whether that wave 1 to the upper side has done the minimum that we expect a wave 1 to the upper side to do by connecting the trend based Fibonacci from the low of the first wave to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the wave 3. That gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that wave 1 at the fib level 0.618, which perfectly lies at around the $1.2429 mark. And you can see that we have fully maximized that target area that I've sketched out using the trend based Fibonacci, because we made our high at around the $1.3 mark, and now we're in this retracement to the lower side in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2, and that still remains to be my primary scenario. And because a wave 2 to the lower side is a corrective wave, we also expected to see an ABC corrective structure, which we are seeing over here, having this as the wave A, then a wave B, then I'm expecting another low in the formation of that wave C to fully maximize the formation of this wave 2 to the lower side. Then from there we can start sketching out an impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3 to the upper side, and sketching out a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of this wave 2 using this ABC corrective structure that I have over here. Then by connecting the Fibonacci's, that is the trend based Fibonacci from the high of that wave A to the low of the wave A, then dragging the fibs to the high of that wave B, that gives me a minimum target area to the lower side back to around the fib level 1.618, which perfectly lies at around the $0.3268 mark, and that is the minimum that I would expect this wave 2 to the lower side to do. And once we see the low, then we can expect a bounce to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3. And using the chart patterns that we have information of over here, and also the key areas of support and resistances to give you my short-term scenarios that I'm expecting to play out. If I jump to the 1-hour chart so that we can see this better, here on the 1-hour chart you can see after making it to the area at around the $0.78 mark, which is a key area of support, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side and went back and made a high at around the $0.94 mark. And within that movement to the upper side, there's this channel that you can see we have been trading within, and at the moment we are trading at the lower side of the channel, and there are chances that we can either manage to break out of the channel either to the lower side, and in case we see a breakout to the lower side, then I will expect that movement to continue pushing even lower and even lose the key area of support at around the $0.78 mark. And in case that plays out, and even see a retest of the key area of support at at around the $0.78 mark, then there are chances that we might continue pushing even lower and maybe even fully maximize the formation of that wave 2 to the lower side. There are also chances that we might manage to break out of the channel to the upper side, and in case that plays out, then we'll be facing a key area of resistance at around the $0.95 mark, and in case we manage to break above that key area of resistance and even see a retest of that key area of resistance, then there are chances of continuing to push even higher and maybe make a high, another new high. And in case that plays out, then I have to adjust my ABC corrective structure in case we make a high above the high for this wave B over here. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and continue watching those key areas of support and resistances. Also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. On the RSI, we are trading at around the 41 mark, meaning we have massive room for us to support any movements to the upper side. Also any movements to the lower side will still be supported. Also taking a look at the MACD. On the MACD, we have printed a bearish crossover here, but we are seeing a bit of a decrease in the selling momentum, and that would mean maybe soon we might be able to print a bullish cross. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.